Broadcast is live. Hey, everybody, this is James from Prague. Hello. Welcome to SoulCARE. Hello. And we have a little bit of delay with YouTube, so waiting 5 seconds. And one, two, three, four, five. How are you all? I'm really bad. What I should have done was my shades. Hold on, everybody. Let me take my shades down. They're automatic. Cool, eh? Cool. That's better. I just ran. Hi, everybody. I just came from my garden. Hello, Helen, Janie, Lisa, Donna, Kim, Renee, Martinez. Hi, Renee, Janet, Lori, Georgina, Terry, Melissa, Lisa. Hi, everybody. I literally just ran up from my garden because I just had a delivery of. Okay, I'm very excited. I had a delivery of 23 bamboo, and I was digging holes all morning. I'm very excited. New babies, and I'm doing a garden, and I'll show it. I'll take pictures and show it on my Facebook page. I'm doing a garden. My favorite painter of all time was Monet. Always, and I would actually. I've never been to Givenchy, his garden outside of Paris, but I've been to all the museums that have his paintings, and he's my favorite. And I related to a lot when I started developing. I'd see a lot of these pastel colors on the sides of my visions, my eyes, and in front of me, and when I had an experience, near-death experience, I saw a lot of pastels. And the closest thing I could say is Monet. Monet's the paints he used, the paintings. So I'm creating a Monet garden from total rocks. I have rocks everywhere. So I'm taking out the rocks, putting the soil, mending the soil, putting fertilizer. So I'm going to be doing that too. So I was just out looking. I'll take pictures, show you the progress of it. And I'm doing a lot on my James Starseed on the YouTube channel. So I use a lot of my garden outside. If you haven't seen that yet, you check that out. So anyway, here I am. I'm very excited to be here with you, and I'm very excited because last Monday evening was my first show with Kelly White and Both Sides Now and Beyond. And first time it was a great show. If you haven't seen that, that'll be again tonight at 6 o'clock. And you can find it on vampirk.com. And tonight we're going to discuss what happens when you pass over. What is it like when you first get there? So we'll be discussing that. So there it is right there. Thank you very much. And so that's that. That's something very exciting. And we do a lot of questions, and we do some readings, and we do a lot of stuff there. So join us tonight for that. And it's on Facebook. So right here, you can see that. So I'm going to I open up the TV, the screen, the computer screen and Catherine's behind me. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, James.
Hi, Catherine. I see you.
I don't know if anyone sees me.
No, they don't see you, but I know who you are.
I know, and you can see me.
Catherine's helping out, producing from behind the scenes here.
You see me even if you don't see me.
Don't pay attention to that woman behind the screen, right? Okay. Okay. Thanks. Gwen, hello. Any questions you have you'd like to ask me? General questions, not mediumship questions, because I'll save those for mediumship night. We do readings, which will be the next time. Catherine, when is that? The next time we have that?
Coming up on the 4th is an evening of psychic readings.
Oh, psychic readings. Okay.
Psychic readings on December 4, and then on December 11, we're hoping to have an evening of spirits.
Oh, good. Evening of spirit. That'll be reading.
For the year. Those are the final ones for the year.
And from now on, everyone that's listening here, I'm going to be doing, I know everybody wants a chance of getting reading. I can't read everybody, but I will make a concerted effort to go quickly. Okay. It's hard because when you make a link with spirit, you want to stay there for a bit because it's a hard link to make and you don't want to shush the spirit away. But I'll do as best as I can to get through as many people as possible with that. And same with the psychic readings. It's just everyone's got to be conscious of a lot of people who want to get in. So we'll try to do as best as we can. But also got to remember that when I'm answering for one person, can relate to every single person too. Okay. But let me jump here to questions for you guys because I hope you've had a good week. I've had a very good week. I'm not political per se, but I've had a very good week. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Let's see. Where are we? Oh, right here. Christy says, how do you feel about the election mess? Well, honestly, I think I'm very embarrassed for Trump. I think it's embarrassing. And I think, you got to take the high road. But I think there's so much stuff in that. There's so much mixed up stuff with that whole thing. And I just really hope that the Republicans and the Democrats come together as one. And they never forget that we're here as one being. We're not to be separated, but together. So I'm just hoping that we will become together and find find the truth in both of us, honor both. That's what I would like to see. But it's working out. I'm feeling calmer, which is great. And now the vaccines, it's more and more reality is coming with vaccines with COVID. So that's really, really good. There are 3 companies now, and both at 95% and one at 70%, maybe 90%. And it's they're working on that and it looks like it's happening. So that's very, very good. Okay, so new comments. Okay. Hello from Point Pleasant. Hello, Point Pleasant, New Jersey. I've been there. Very lovely. America living in Egypt. Oh, wow. So glad I can get you here. Very good, Danny. I hope you're enjoying Egypt. I've never been. I'd love to see it. Blessings. Would like to know how Ryan is in heaven. Oh, Kim, I don't do that now, but I will do it in the mediumship course. This is just the general questions, if it's okay for everybody. I just come in from the garden, so I'm not really in my mindset to do readings. Okay. So let's see. This is from Safina Winfield says, if I have mediumship skills, does that give me a clue to identify my calling? Well, Safina, I'm going to say that everybody has to a point certain mediumship skills. But if you find that you want to develop those mediumship skills, that's really where you'll find out if that's right for you or not. It's in the development. It's not just something I can talk to dead people. You have to get really involved in it and really take it seriously. And it's almost like getting a degree in law or medicine. And you got to go to many, many levels of school. Same thing with mediumship, but you'd be properly trained and developed and have a great foundation in order for that mediumship to excel in mediumship. And to me, I find you have to do it that way to be responsible, because again, you have people's lives in your hands and you have to be mindful of that you could destroy someone's life or help someone, give them their life back. And properly developed mediumship does that. It helps people in the right way. If you just jump into it and say, I can talk to dead people, which a lot of people seem to be doing, like this, they know about it, then you're not helping yourself or the person, and it can cause harm to you. It can cause harm to your body, the endocrine system, the physical system, the emotional system. It can cause harm if not done the right, correct way. The energetic system of the body is being taxed. The adrenal system is being taxed, and you got to know what that's all about. How far you can use the energy. What does the energy feel like? So it's not just talking to dead people. There's a lot more involved in it than just that. So it's something which, if people have mediumship ability, they have to go in and really research it and develop it and take a lot of classes in it and really, really define it and refine it. Really, that's my belief. If you run into other medium teachers who say, just take a class, I don't think they're doing you any good. Because the right thing is to take the time to develop. And part of the great thing about mediumship for me and for many people that I know is the process of it, learning about it. That's the great part. It's not the end part of talking to dead people. It's the process of it. Like I always say now, talking to dead people, I can do that. But when I see people, I'm able to see them for who they are as far as the soul being, the colors they have, the assets of the soul abilities that they have, the gifts, if you will. I'm able to see that. I see the various aspects of their soul. Now that all came to me in development as a medium. It didn't come to me just to develop my psychic ability, but that came as I was developing a mediumship and a sensitivity and opening up those envelopes of energy with the spirit guides. That's how I was able to open up and perceive the colors and lights and fields of energy around people. And that was in mediumship development, see? So it's more than just talking to dead people. And it also helps your own soul develop. It really should be it's a training, if you will, and having your own soul develop through mediumship. That's really what it is. So it's more about that than just talking to dead people. Okay, a lot of people don't know that. Maybe I should do a seminar on that. I think I will. Katrin, make note. Okay,
I did.
It's good, right? We always come up with these things, but it's important that people know the right way to go about it. And I think Janet and the Havoc, maybe you should put that down. I'll do it with Janet and the Havoc. I'll do a little thing with her. She'll do it with me. We'll do an evening of that, of a mediumship, of developing as a medium. You guys like that? Any comments on that one? Yes? Okay, good. Brilliant. Thanks. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Yes. Now, I'm not doing readings today. No, I don't do readings today. I'll be doing December 4th and the 11th. Mary, how do you know? Mary Siderius asks, how do you know what comes up in meditation is guidance from your guides or deceased loved ones or your higher self? So again, it matters when you sit in the quiet and you become aware of the quiet and you start to have a relationship with this quiet and the stillness. And then you really, and your own soul, can I say it that way? Your own soul, and you get to know your own soul and feel your own soul and understand how the soul, the energy of your soul, how it expands, how much how it's unlimited, how high up it goes all around you, to the side, below you, feeling your soul, getting more relation. It's like the skin of an onion, peeling an onion, or the skins of an onion, the different layers. That's the same thing with sitting with your soul self, and getting to know your soul. The more you know your soul, the more you know what feels right, what is yours, what is coming from your higher self. And then you'll be able to discern between what's coming from my higher self, my own soul's knowledge, or what's coming from a deceased loved one, the subtleness of the energy, or what's coming from your guides. You'll be able to discern between those three things, if I should say it that way. And that's sitting with a lot of development and patience and sitting in the quiet. So it's hard for a lot of people in this day and age to sit in the quiet for a long time because everything's so quick. But the best way would be really to sit in the quiet and to begin to learn who you are, to their own self be true. Knowing yourself is the best way to discern between what's coming from you, what's coming from a deceased loved one, and really what's coming from your guides. I have wonderful in the school, my school. I have a wonderful course about tuning into your guides, learning about your guides, and the JP School of Mystical Arts. So check that out about the guide course. It's really wonderful. And I've written a book about it as well. So there it is, JP School of Mystical Arts. Check that out for the guides course, because that's something you might want to look into. But through all of these things, please don't rush through them. You have to, one step at a time. Take them slow. They're not meant to be rushed through. Okay, because this is a medium. It's my life work. It's a life work. It's a dedication. You dedicate. It's a commitment. It's a commitment of your time. It's a commitment of your life. It's a commitment. If you're going to be a true medium, commitment. Okay. Missy says you have such a beautiful, calming sound, and then I lost it. Oh well, thank you very much. I'm beautiful and calming. I appreciate. Oh, here it is. Tanya K. Good question. Do we have a choice to come back here? Good question. Can we go to other planets or dimensions instead? Good question. Does anyone ever break that contract to come to Earth? That's a great one, Tanya. Yes. You choose to come back here, or you choose to go to another place, another planet, another galaxy. Yes. So you do. Do you ever break contract? I, I wouldn't say break the contract, but I would say there are some times where our free will gets in the way. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago here, where I said, you're destined to do a certain thing. Let's say you're destined to live till, you're destined to live 75 years of age, let's say. But when you're 42, you decide to go to a party and drink, 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 and you get drunk as could be, and you get in a car and you kill yourself, and that was your choice to drink, right? That's free will got in the way, and that was ended that whole destiny for you. So again, you're going to come back and finish those other years back. But yes, to all that. But yeah, but a breaking the soul contract, I've only personally, my experience has been only if your free will gets involved, or someone else's free will. Okay. Uh, okay, Kelly French says if a person is dealing with social anxiety that makes their throat close off and prevents them from speaking, would you think their throat chakra needs some work on? Yes. Work, or are there other things going on? That's good, Kelly French. Good question. Smart question. So it's a number of things. I would think that the throat, of course, which you mentioned, it's expression. It's your voice, expressing your voice. It's creativity, expressing that beautiful energy which is yours, that unique creative force, your own voice, their own voice be true. So there's something that closing off that made you fearful of speaking your truth. So it could be a number of things. It could go all the way back to a traumatic experience when you're a child. It could go back to something at work, someone screamed at you. It could be many, many things. So I personally like to find the art of discovery in that, and that I like to go back into my childhood. I like to go and discover what is it that's holding back. Or a simple one is also scanning through each of the chakras and finding out what comes out. What do you see there? What comes out of that when you're scanning? Why is it blocked? What do you feel or see when you go to that chakra? What is blocking it? And you can write things down. And again, it's not a judgment, right? It's not a judgment. You scan your chakra points. There are many ways of doing it. The fastest way to me to tell you is a scanning way. And as you scan it, you can just become aware of and just get to a neutral state before you scan and see what pops out. You might have pictures, you might have memories, you might have words. I always keep a journal and say, okay, what do I get in that chakra, and write it down. So What holds you back from speaking your truth? A lot of times it's what we get into this mindset of what other people think of me, which is a trap. It's an illusion. Because what other people think of you is none of your business. But with some reason, we give our power away to other people. Too bad, other people. Speak your truth. You come back on this earth for people to hear you. Everyone's come back here for your unique diamond to shine in its way it's going to shine. All diamonds don't shine alike. They're all different. Every single one. They're all beautiful. The luster is different with each one. The facets are different with each one. Everyone here is a diamond and shines very differently. And that's what you have to empower. Never should be like anybody else. Please don't. That would be boring and would lose it on your unique self. Right, which was what you came back here for. All the stars in the heavens are all different, and no star is the same. Just like no snowflake is the same. We are not the same. It's when you think about that, it goes along with the immensity of the universes and the source of energy, the source of the universe is that we are unique, every one of us. So that's pretty incredible. So be yourself and speak your truth. Okay. Happy birthday, Kyrie. Happy birthday. Okay, here's Bridget Boudreau asks, when I meditate, I start feeling like I'm spinning. Is that normal? It freaks me out and I break meditation when that happens. Okay. It is normal. It does happen. That does happen. You get a sense of that. So what I'd like you to do is go back to your breath. So as you're spinning, and sometimes you'll feel a sense of someone closing in on you, or you're expanding, or you're contracting. And that's because many times there'll be guides around you working with the auric field. And when you're working with meditation, you're really kind of working with the spinning of the chakra system. So the chakras spin. So you might be in tune with that spinning going on. So what you want to do is to ground yourself beforehand and during. And how we ground ourselves again, another way is imagining that you have roots at the bottom of a tree. The bottom of your feet are roots that go right down to Mother Earth and connect with Mother Earth, a stone down there in the middle of the earth, and feel the love, the beautiful sense of caring and security that Mother Earth gives us, helps us to grow and feel secure within ourselves, like a mother would, right? That's what you want to do. And also with the breath. So as I'm breathing in, I'm breathing all the way down my feet, and then exhale out of your mouth. I'm breathing in. So whenever you feel you're spinning or you're not in control of it, go back to your breath. Your breath is your grounding rod in a way. Okay, you're centering. Okay, here we go. So many things. So, yes, side to side during meditation, back and forth, very normal, very, very normal. Okay, Sandra Veer. Hi, James. Excited. I'm taking your mediumship course. Good, very good. Thank you for sharing so much. Oh, you're very welcome. I have to. It's my life work. Very good. Oh, thank you, Rilla. Thank you. You're welcome. Answer your question. Oh, Tanya, this is going back to the breaking the contract. Thank you for answering my question. We haven't asked part of my question correctly, but I was wondering if we can break our contract and choose not to come back here to learn lessons. Are we able to stay whenever we want? You have free choice, free will to leave whenever you want. You do have free will. You can do that if you want to. Many people do. I cannot tell you what the consequences would be after that. So, it's almost like we go to school and we sign up for certain classes to learn, to grow, which we need those classes in order to grow the best we can. And we can never cut school. We have to finish. So whether we finish now or another time, we have to finish sometime. So you'll come back and finish another time if you want. So you do have free will to do that. Again, I don't know the consequences of that. I just don't know. I think the worst thing that when we pass over, I think in this earth, when we do something we're not happy about. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my nails that are full of dirt. The things we do, we say dirt from the garden, Katrin. Dirt, right? It's our friend. Katrin's a gardener too. We're not very proud. Sometimes we say something to somebody we don't really mean. We say, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I'm sorry." Imagine when you're in a world and a vibration that's a mental vibration. We all live in a physical vibration, and we leave this slough off this body, this physical body. We go to a mental world. All our thoughts are seen, and we have to live all of our thoughts we've created in the life we've just lived. Imagine when you go over there, if you've did something wrong or not right, and you have to relive that in your head over and over and over again, and there's no time. So it's kind of like long can you live that same memory over and over and over again? And if you did something that you're not very happy about, that could be hellish to you for yourself. You could just drive yourself crazy, or it could be if you did something loving in life, that could be wonderful. It'd be heaven. So just think about that. That your thoughts matter a lot. So if you leave this earth before your time, I don't know the consequence of that. As far as if you're in that mental vibration of thinking, oh, I should have finished it, and you beat yourself up for not finishing, I don't know. I think it's different with each soul. So and depending what the circumstances. So I think that's a good answer, Tanya. I think I did most of it. Okay. Okay. Prayers for my back. Thank you. Yes. Yes, I'm sorry. The other night I could not. I had a problem with my back the other night, Friday, because I have arthritis in my upper back, and it never flares up. Really doesn't flare up that much. Cervical spine, but when it does flare up, I get a burning sensation down my both arms, my hands, and that 2 days before I Wednesday started and Thursday, and I was resting a lot, and I was Friday, I was resting all day in bed, and I just wanted to make sure it was okay for that night, but I literally could not lift my hands up and type, and I would not have been able to concentrate on Friday night. So I have to be, I'm an honest person with integrity, and with the spirit world too. I respect you, and I respect them, and I would not have been a good instrument to use. So I had to say that because that happens. So they're feeling much better now. Thank you. It's just it flares up. It's a flare up. If I don't eat right or do something off, it throws me off. So I don't know. I think who knows what I did, but I'm feeling much better now. So I will be doing my show tonight, and yeah, I'm feeling great. So thank you very much for the prayers you've sent my back. I appreciate it. I'm old, after 60, what happens? Okay. I hear you, Katrin. Katrin, we hear you giggling back there behind that curtain.
My mic, and I also see some questions. Can I throw?
Yeah. Please, go right ahead.
There was one. Hold on, I'm just taking a second. If you find one, go ahead.
No, I just Deborah Case. Thank you. We appreciate. Thank you for appreciating your support. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. It's very kind. Ha ha. Chakra, not chocolate. I think that might be it. I think I ate too much chocolate. I got to cut sugar down. I'm cutting sugar down. I'm going to diet cutting sugar out of my diet. So that's been the hardest. But I can't cut coffee. I can't. No way. I've cut alcohol out. Okay. What about what your family thinks of you? Is that real? Is that real feedback? I don't care what my family thinks of me. What other people, including your family, thinks of you is none of your business. Yeah, I can't care what your family thinks of you. If you're doing the right thing and you're doing the thing that you're not hurting anybody and you're coming from a space of love, then that's it. You can never look for your family for, and that's hard, Kathy, because we grow up thinking we have to really do what our family wants, our parents especially. We want to appease them. We want to do exactly what they expected. We want their love, and we get to a point where for our whole life we always do what they want. We're never going to please ourselves. We please them. We become people pleasers. But you really can't go through life pleasing other people. You got to please yourself. And there's a point where, like the empty nest, when you leave the nest from your family, you got to be on your own, which means you got to get into your own power. You can't please them anymore. And that's their trip then. That's their thing. Again, it happens a lot too with, I'll say it this way. This is interesting. Let's say a girl leaves her family and she let's say she meets a guy and they're living together and then they want to get married. And then the mother of the girl wants to help her with the wedding, and she fixed this because I'm a mother and I want you to wear this dress. And I've seen this over and over again. Well, the daughter's going to say, "Mom, it's my wedding. I would the way you've got to support me in the way I want to. It's not your wedding. And maybe you didn't have a nice wedding or things, but I'm going to do it my way." And that's one of the I've seen it a lot with clients where the daughter has to speak up and say, "Mom, it's not your wedding. It's my time." And the mother has to get over that. The mother has to realize that that's exactly right. The daughter's grown up and she's got to choose her own. And I am here to support her. That's a hard one for mothers sometimes. Hard for daughters too. But that's just an example of one that I hear every day. Okay. Go ahead, Katrin.
Okay. Here's one from Charisse.
Okay. After we die, do all of us wait for our whole soul group to get there before? Yes. Yes, we do. That answer is yes, Charisse, we do. Very good. Okay, and easy answer.
Similar.
If we didn't pass or graduate, need to come back we come back as the same zodiac signs? Oh, that's a great one. So Cindy, that's really interesting. So, I don't want to say pass or graduate. I want to say, yeah, maybe we didn't learn it the way we should have. I don't want to say pass or just maybe we didn't learn the fullness of the lesson, And maybe we'll have to come back to learn. Maybe we did, but then we got to come back and learn a different aspect of that lesson. So let's say lesson about loving ourselves. And we didn't fully get it. We didn't fully do it all the way. So maybe in the next lifetime, we will come back to learn a different aspect of loving ourselves. And maybe we'll choose another sign, maybe Leo, because Leo was about loving self. So maybe you'll choose Leo to help you activate that sense of loving yourself to fulfill that lesson. Could be. I can't say till I pass over, but I think it's a very good theory. I really do. Because think of zodiac signs as energy, and all of the 12 of them have a distinct energy, and the correlation between them, it's so amazing. Every astrology sign has a vibration, has a note, a musical note attached to it, has a color attached to it, has an organ associated with it. So they all go together, has a number attached to it. So it all works together, and I think it's really fascinating. My astrology course in the school is a great one for beginners. I talk all about those things, and I really explain astrology in a very easy way because I'm not an astrologer. So I explain it from a person who doesn't really know a lot about it, but I know enough that you'll get a lot out of it. No, I get into the I stop at aspects, but I give you a lot about the houses, the meaning of the houses, the signs, the connections, the correlations, and if you will, what your rising sign means, what your sun sign, moon, all the planets, what they mean, and all the houses, what they mean. So if you want to know basic astrology, it's a good course to take. But it's a good question, Cindy. Okay,
Here we go
next
from
one.
Kate. Yep.
Okay. Oh, this is great, Katrin. I like that you do this. I wait have to strain my eyes looking. Hey, Jane. Hey, James. Hey, Kate. Glad I caught you live. Hey, I'm better live than dead. All right. I'm an empath, but I'm protecting myself from observing other people's energies become difficult. Any suggestions? It is the pandemic lockdown. Well, again, I don't like to keep on pushing my stuff, but I have to in questions like this. So I would say run your energy more, and running your energy. There's again um, tools for the highly sensitive person. I created that course just for that, learning different ways. And I don't like to use the word protect. I like to use the word being mindful, being aware of your energy field. The more aware you are of the energy field that you have, the more aware the more aware you become of it being infiltrated with toxic energy or foreign energy from other people's thought forms, if you will. And in that course, tools for the highly sensitive, I really go into running your energy, teaching you how to run your energy, cleansing out the chakra points, the energy points, cleansing out the auric fields, and do that. I have different techniques of doing that. So that's what you'd find that. And you'd have to do it every day. I do it every day. I go through running my energy every day. I do the shower in the morning. I do it at night. So you have to be mindful of doing that. That's the best way. You can't just walk around in this world thinking nothing's going to affect you, especially when you're an empath, because we're walking in a sea of thought forms all around us from other people. Okay. So I hope you can take that course. Yeah, it's a good one. You're one of my influences in becoming medium. Who was yours? Paul Francis, medium. Okay. Mine was, but a number of people. Leslie Flint, who was a physical medium. My teacher was Brian Hurst, who's no longer working. He was also another one. I've worked a lot with Tony Stockwell from England, and those are my influences, I would say. Those are the ones that I really, and of course, Doris Collins from England, who's no longer around, but she's also someone I look up to. I study her own YouTubes. Gordon Higginson to a point, again, it's just from YouTubes, but the people I've worked with, Tony's very good, and Brian Hurst was excellent, so, and Leslie Flint. And I read a lot. I also read a lot. Okay. Teresa, do you use crystals? Do I use crystals? I don't know. Do you use crystals? I do use crystals. Do you use crystals in your life? And your thoughts on this would be welcome. I do, but I don't. I mean, I have crystals. I know certain properties of certain crystals. I do not know enough about them. I was thinking of next year to do a course on them, and which means that I'm going to, like you, discover what each means and when to use them. I still might do that. So I do know certain things with amethyst and quartz, of course, and citron. I don't know enough. I do have crystals in my house. I have one beautiful amethyst. Now you can program crystals too. There's a natural property of crystals, like certain vibration that they have, but you also can program them. And I program my amethyst. I have an amethyst at my front door, big amethyst. And you saw a Katrin when you were at my house.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. And what that does is I have that situated right there. So and I programmed it that any energy that comes into that house at that moment, that it pulls out any negative energy, goes right to that crystal and transmutes it. So that way, no one comes into my house with negative energy. It's gone. And it's funny because people walk in the first 2, 3 steps. So first say, "Oh, what a beautiful crystal," and say, "Wow," and then second or third step, they say, "Oh, it feels so nice in here." So it's because there's that crystal and there's several others positioned in a certain way that it just takes away negative energy. If there's any negative energy, it just goes. So, and that's true of my room, also my office here. I have a nice crystal grid of energy, and I have yeah. So that's what I that's but I don't know enough about it. I will find out more about it. Okay.
Mm.
Let's see, Joe. Joe, what's your favorite talk show that you were a guest on over the years? Oh, that's a great question. Couple of different ones. I mean, I loved Larry King. I loved Larry King in a sense for different reasons at different shows. Larry King, I love because number one, he was the first. I was the first medium ever on that show. It was the first time this work got out into the internet internationally. I think you know the story, Joe. I was on a Friday night, December the 7th, 1997. I know that exactly. And my book had come out, and I remember that the book had 6,000 published copies. And that was the first time I had a medium on. And it was an incredible night, great readings. And I like that because people can't say, "Oh, cold reading," all that time. The skeptics say cold reading because I don't see their faces. So, hello, where does that go? And it was very specific, detailed, and it's a great way to show, if you will, demonstrate mediumship. We don't see people's faces. It's wonderful. So I like that. I like the pace of Larry King, not Larry King himself, because he was this. I'll say about him on my own here. The pace to show the quickness with the readings that have to go fast. I like that because in mediumship you don't have time to think. You just got to get it and give it out, get it, give it out, and that keeps it. An exercise I do with my students is you just keep on giving out and go, go, go. And Larry King was great. That show was great to get it very fast and precise because I would tune into the voice. That's how it would work. The voice and who they want to contact, and it would be right there. And the worst part about it was, of course, the responses from the people. When you're talking, you have to get the yes or the no to make sense, and they're like kind of in shock. As most times when I do shows, they're in shock, like, huh, that's the hard part because you're in such a rhythm, and then you have to be delayed by the response. It slows you down, and there's so much going on. So you have that going, and you really got to concentrate. And I like that about that show. I really had to concentrate and it goes, and then you have Larry on the other end. And Larry's hysterical. He was very supportive. Larry, he didn't believe in it at all until during commercial break during the first show. His father came through and he talked about him being working in New Jersey. I think he would. They made airplane. The guns for the airplane pellets, whatever they were, and so I'm doing that, and he goes, "Yes, that's what he used to do in New Jersey." So that made him a believer. So not that it changed his whole belief system, but I thought it was pretty great. Anyway, the books went from 6,000. The calls from CNN did not stop from Friday night until Sunday, 3 o'clock around the world. The calls kept on coming in for that show, and they had me on 2 weeks later, and I was on the show about 6, 7, 8 times, and the book went to #1 New York Times bestseller, and it was the first time mediumship was shown on that level. So that was a great show. The other ones over the years have been in so many different shows. I can tell you stories. The View was great until Barbara acted like a strange woman once, and she was not very nice to me, and she should have because I did a lot of favors for Barbara. But Joy was great. Joy Behart and I got along very well, and I got along really well with sorry, I can't remember her name. The blonde girl, the one who was a Republican religious girl. She was very nice to me, I gotta say. Whoopi's great. I don't know. So they're all so different. Every show is different. Hollywood Squares I did, and I love that. That was great because I was with Ted Danson with that, and they had all these I don't know Hollywood people, old famous classical Hollywood movies people on the set with me. They were nice to meet these different people. Anyway, it's been interesting. So all different, really. But I guess Larry King would be the first. Okay. Can you please tell us the very best way for us to let go of negative past experiences? Wow, that's a good one, Anna. So different ways of doing this. Gosh, it's so hard to answer this simply because it's a process you have to go through. So whether it's about bringing yourself back to the time in your life when you go back to your childhood and becoming aware of bringing yourself back to that space and time of exactly what it was, that maybe you can ask yourself, a higher self, to bring you back in your mind to a space where there was a negative experience and what was said and what was done. And then what you can do is just change that and make it positive things that are said to you. If someone says a negative to you, change it to positive. So what would have happened if it was a positive experience? And that's one way you can do it. There are a lot of different ways. Again, I have a course called the 28-Day Transformation in the school, and it's primarily about letting go of your negative past and bringing yourself into the present. So it's 28-Day Total Transformation. That's that course. I feel like I'm selling my courses, but that's where I put a lot of energy into those things because this happens a lot. And it's a good one going into your past and letting things go because there's no reason to hold on to negativity. There's no reason to. You're giving it power. You got to let it go. But what you can do is say, what have I learned from that negative experience? How has that made me better? And don't let it hold on to you. Make it positive. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I can't answer more. What is the first step to develop your psychic gift? Sitting in the quiet, and listening to your solar plexus, your gut feeling, going with your gut, going with that gut impression of what I'm feeling about something, not what you see or hear, but what I'm feeling about it. First thing to do is go through a day of what do I feel about certain things. So you get a phone call from someone. What do I feel about this person? What do I feel about the information they're telling me? Maybe you see something at a store. If you go out to a store, it's hard with COVID, but you go to a store to maybe grocery shop. What do you sense and what do you feel about that person? What do you feel about the store? What do you feel about things all around you? Go with your feelings. Spend a day going with your feelings. That's what I would start with. Okay.
More questions? Let's see.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
We meet family members we did not know about when we pass. Yes, Kathy Schumann. You meet family members you did not know about. When my dad passed over, he came back right away and he said, I see a sister. If I was born before me, I didn't know I had a sister. And we checked out later on, we checked some records and we found he did have a sister that died at birth. So you see family members you didn't know you had. I did a reading once for this man and his name is Peter. And I said, there's a Michael here. And he said, is your brother? And he said, I don't have a brother named Michael that passed. I said, well, he's here. And he said, he's your brother, Michael. And you need to check, but he's here. And he says he loves you and he's been helping you all these years. And Peter then went back to his home and he called relatives in England and he spoke to an aunt. And she told him, yes, that's right. Your mother had another baby before you were born named Michael, but she didn't want to share that with you, with anyone, because I guess they didn't feel it was right to share that information. So yes, it does happen. You meet them. Yeah. Okay. Susan Spinelli. Okay.
Yeah,
Another one.
you
Go on,
see
Kat.
some.
Yeah.
I'm looking at them all.
Catra's behind the scenes. Yes.
I know. I'm happy to be here. Here we go. Well, there's a lot of James's. I'm reading the questions. Here we go. Just one about books.
What books would you recommend for someone who wants to develop their mediumship and psychic abilities? That's really hard. I have a whole bunch of books. Oh boy. Wow. Okay, hold on a second. Let me go look. Hold on. There's so many.
Let's see.
Oh boy, there's so many. Let's see.
Feels like you're going to get books.
I thought I had that on my website. Maybe I don't. Katrin, can you make a note? Maybe we should put lists of books on the website.
Okay.
Because that's something we should do on the resource. Because I have so many. There's one, Psychic is You is a great book. This is a good one too. This one I like. Do You Want to Be a Medium? And that's by Rose Inden. I like it a lot. Chakra System. It's a very in-depth book. I like that a lot. I'll put together on the resource page. I'll put together a book list. I thought I used to have one, but I'll put together an updated one. Katrin and I'll work on that because that's something you guys should know. There's so many, and there's so many that are out there, but they're crap. Sorry, I'm being so informal. They're not worth the page they're printed on. Sorry to say that. And I can say that because I've been in this 40 years, and there are some that are really, really good and informative, and others just like okay. But I want to give you the really good ones. So I'll go through a list and make some, and they'll be on my website, benprog.com. Okay.
Under resources. Great.
Under resource page. And that's where you have resources. I have readers as well, mediums, psychics, healers on that resource page. It's on my website, vanprog.com. On the upper tab, it says resources. Okay. This is from Kathy. Love this last name. Lasperance Rodriguez. Very good. How do we do both? Reincarnate and stay around our loved ones. How do we do both? Well, right now, Kathy, you as a soul are much bigger than just this body. I often say that as a soul, 80% of us are out of the body, and only 20 is in here, the soul. So this is like the big toe to the soul, I say. And so you're out in other levels and other realms, dimensions, your soul. So because you're out here, you can be different places at once. You can be in several places at once. You can be different dimensions. You can be different lifetimes, and you're just aware of this lifetime here, but you can be on other levels and other lifetimes all at the same time. That's how that works. We're so limited in the human spectrum here. It's outside of this human dimension. There's so much more than just this human dimension. There's a very small part of us.
Right. Okay. There's another question.
Right. Okay, and Melissa Dutcher here is, do our fur babies keep reincarnating and coming back to us? I tend to believe that the fur babies reincarnate with us. I think they're part of our soul group, and I believe that to be true because I know my daughter, and I've been around before. When you feel the strong affinity, I feel you've known each other before, so I think they come with us. Okay, Melinda, do you have any advice to get through the grieving process? My grandmother just passed, and it's been really rough for me. Yes. Please read Healing Grief. Okay, Melinda, Healing Grief. It's my book that I have, which is a very in-depth book. And it's a really, please read that book. It's very, very good. That's why I wrote it. There's so many gems in there. I mean, just one from it is, look and see what your grandma left you. Nobody leaves without leaving gifts behind. So what's the gifts that grandma left you? And you have to realize she's not dead. She's very much alive, and don't think of her as dead because that's an insult to her, right? And so that will help you. And there are all different stages of grief, sweetheart, you have to go through. It's a hard one. It's a human emotion, but we have to go through it. And there are different stages of grief. There's anger, there's resentment, there's all those different things. But know that she's in a better place too. Okay, and I'd say that realize that she still sees you. But again, the best advice I could say is read the book Healing Grief. I will say, I'll stick by it and say it's one of the best books ever written on grief. I really do. Okay. But best of luck, sweetheart. Mary Houghton, who has been the most important influence on your spiritual development from childhood? Well, that's a great one. That's a great one. Wow, what a great question, Mary. Huh. So that's a thinker. My spiritual development. Wow, that's a good one. I got to say, I can't say it's just one person. I've got to say it's everything. It's got to say it's been my mother growing up. It's got to be the Catholic Church as a child growing up, and that might sound weird, but the ritual got to me. I got to say going to a seminary for a year it helped me, and I've got to say more. Let me think about it. Carol Shoemaker was my supervisor who got me to a medium, and I say she helped. We always have these people around us who help us in our life for different reasons, for different aspects of ourselves. So the one person as a child, all of you here, like this is a Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers talked about this once, and I love it. He said, we can all look back at our life, and it's got to be that one person that taught you something, that taught you love, or that you honor the most, that really taught you. So I would say, in that respect, Connie Leaf, who was my kind of adopted mother as a child, she kind of brought me up, and she made me believe in myself. And my first book, Talking to Heaven, is dedicated to her. So I would say there are many different parts in our life that help with our development, spiritual development, different aspects of spiritual development, if you will. But she helped me believe in myself. And I guess you can't get much too far if you don't believe in yourself, right? I couldn't have gotten anywhere if I didn't believe in myself first. And I didn't really believe in myself before that. I didn't have a sense of myself before that. I was the youngest of 4 children. Parents weren't around. I was very much a loner. I was very much a sensitive, an empath. Didn't have a strong sense of myself until I met Connie, who really nurtured that inside me. She really did. So I'd say that's her. But then again, with that, after that, I went through the seminary, and after that, met my grandmother was very kind and said to their own self be true. And always told me the golden rule, and I think the golden rule is the most important thing to live by. My teachers along the way in mediumship, from the other side. Again, I mentioned Leslie Flint, the physical medium, and I've listened to many of Leslie Flint's tapes with the spirits who passed over that you can listen to too online. Get Leslie Flint and listen to these beautiful people who passed over, and they talk about what it's like on the other side, and what it's like to when you first pass over, and how you should be living a positive life on this earth. And those things have taught me as well. A lot of books I've read as well. You get little bits of wisdom here and there, but so it's a combination thereof. But good question, Mary. Okay, that's a good one. I love good questions. How can we help a past loved one to visit in dreams? Sunshine Jen. How you can do that is send out a thought to them, like at night before you go to sleep. Just one thought. They get your thoughts and say, if you have time, whenever I'm ready and you're ready, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see you in a dream, and then let it go. Best thing you can do. But if you sit there night after night saying, come into my dreams, I miss you, come into my dreams, what you're doing is you're blocking them, because energetically you're kind of forcing them, you're blocking them to come. It's like, let it go. You got to release that space, and they will come to you if you give them the space to do it. But you can't force it. Let it happen when it's going to happen. And it'll happen, believe me. It happens when you least suspect it. It'll happen when you're driving a car, when you're in the shower. When you least suspect it, it happens. That's because you're not thinking about it. So it gives them room to come in. Okay. A couple more, and then a couple more. Yeah.
Here's one.
How do we stay positive in the COVID world? Well, that's a good question. I'd say involve yourself in positive things in your mind. So creative things you love, things you're passionate about. Realize that we will get over this. We will get over this. And what are we learning from this? I'm learning so much more about myself from this time being with myself. What have you learned about yourself? What have you learned positive about yourself? Have you gone inside? How am I different now? Right? You can go really deep within yourself and find out what's going on. And I'd say do things that really bring you passion. Making creative things, making things, painting, cleaning things. Whatever makes you passionate. Writing is a great one. I told you I'm creating a new garden. I love that, and that's what I do. And I do meditation. I send out loving thoughts, and that's what I do. I just keep my mind in a very positive, loving space, feeding my mind with positivity, not feeding with negativity. And I'm so happy the election's over, because I feel negativity is going bye, and I'm just thrilled. So I'm still very happy that the change is coming in now, and things can be very different. And I'm happy that the world is going to see the United States again as a very good place, and that they have their act together. I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy that we've had an experience that Black Lives Matter and all lives matter, and that we've taken time to look at ourselves, and that we're treating everyone different, hopefully, and things that are important, things that are not important. I think it's amazing. I think it's a great experience, and hopefully we're better for it. We treat each other better for it too, and respect each other. Respect the differences, and respect the likenesses and the different dislikes, everything, and hopefully you'll be better off and know that you can look at someone in a different way. I don't know. I just want to say, why negative? So I want to say, great. How would be positive? And how could you not be positive? I don't know. What would you tend to go to negativity? Would you tend to go to positivity? I think as a general, I always say that life is like a spectrum on a radio dial. 88.2 is fear, negativity, unlimited consciousness, not having enough money and security. And 106.7 is love, compassion, abundance, and joy. I don't know about you, but I'm going to 106.7. So I'm putting my mind toward that. I'm taking that dial is where I'm going to be at. So I put my mind to that. Even though there might be some stuff going on in a negative way over here, I'm staying true to my positivity. And maybe it's falsehood, but guess what? It's gotten me through, and I feel better. And that's the secret of a good life too, and a healthy life, is feeling better in your mind. The mind then will feed into the body and feed into the experiences in your life. Okay, I hope that helps. I think one more, Katrin, would be great if you have one. Yeah.
Yep, and this kind of ties in with the last question.
Oh, good. Jennifer Gordon. I am so disconnected from who I thought I was. How do I find my way back to myself? Oh, wow, Jennifer. Well, I'm going to give you two things, and I talk about this a lot. Sit in the quiet. So every day you need to commit yourself, every day, 15 minutes sitting in the quiet. And what I say is I have a walk-in closet I have. And I go to the walk-in closet, or some people use a bathroom, a place where you're not going to get outside noises. disruptions. And you just sit in the quiet and pay attention to the breath, breathing in and breathing out. And that's all. It's a passive meditation. If you do that every day, 15 minutes a day, you'll begin to have a sense of your soul again, going back into your soul, and you start feeling your soul, the energy of your soul come out, and that beautiful unconditional love start building and building and building. And so you'll have this whole sense of who you are and what are you here for. And you start getting this feeling of who you are and loving yourself and knowing things about yourself that maybe your mind, you're in your head a lot, right? So you spend a lot of time thinking, thinking, thinking. And when you're in your head so much thinking, 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 you forget about the heart. You become disassociated. And we need to get you back into your heart, Jennifer. And that would do it. That will do it. And also other things, again, just like I mentioned, writing things down that you're passionate about, doing things that make your heart sing. That's what you want to do. And feeling happy about who you are, not trying to please other people, not being in the negative, but the positive. That's what you need to do. What caused you to get disconnected? What? And then just go back to the positive and just you continue that commitment of sitting in silence every day and really following your heart, what makes your heart sing. I would really advise you to start doing that. Okay. And don't be so quick about it. Take it as a slow process of doing these things. Okay. And honestly, everyone, if you please tune in tonight to the show with Kelly White. We're going to be doing, but what is it called? I can't remember the name.
Both Sides Now and Beyond.
Both Sides Now and Beyond. I want to keep on saying Beyond. Both Sides Now and Beyond. And it's on Facebook, and it's at 6:00 Pacific time, 9:00 Eastern time. And for the rest of the world, you'll have to figure that one out because I can barely figure out Pacific and Eastern here. So love to have you doing readings there. And we're going to talk about what life is like on the side when you come over. And we'll answer a lot more questions too if I haven't answered them here. And thank you, Katrin, very much. And thank you, everybody. And we'll see you soon. And I'll see you hopefully in school too. Okay.
Awesome.
God bless.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Leave.